Good evening, everyone. Listen, I cannot. We are in week. Is this like week 3 or 4?
The last one.
That'll work. So we are in our final Coach My Life weekend live interview series. Today is the 18th of November. And we are in our final live series. So I hope that you have had the opportunity to rock out with us. I hope that you've had the opportunity to check all of the interviews. Make sure you scroll down my timeline, Jazz timeline, Coach my six-figure group somewhere and find the rest of the interviews for tonight. They will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, the Coach My Life YouTube channel. So make sure you check them out there as well. Just so that you don't have to go fishing for them. So listen, of course, you know, I am your vision coach, Latoya Early, here serving and supporting our amazing professional female startup coaches as I help you become the expert in your coaching niche while building your six-figure coaching business. Super excited about tonight because y'all know I love when I get to rock out with our concierge, with Chase Great's client success coach, Jazz. She just makes the live so much better.
Oh, welcome back. Listen, I couldn't even introduce myself last time that way. Not having you there was not okay.
Oh,
I feel so
listen,
good.
it was so terrible because you know you're not supposed to text and drive. You know you're not supposed to be distracted and driving at all. I'm telling the kids, I'm driving home from swim practice, like, y'all got to be quiet because I got to hear. I'm trying to like the screen while I'm driving, all type of illegal stuff that was happening in that car. But I was so excited.
First of all, I'm glad that you're safe. I'm glad that you're safe. I'm glad that you made it safely. And I definitely was enjoying your comments. It felt like you were present. Although having you next to me over here, yeah, I pointed right. Having you over here means the world to me. So I'm so glad you're back. Well, can we just welcome her back because we missed her last.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome. No. Okay.
All right. I am the concierge for the conference for the weekend, Coach My Life weekend, December 3rd through the 5th. I'm super excited about what is coming up. And yes, I am the client success coach. And what that means is for the coaches that are a part of the Chase Great University, I help them navigate through the program successfully in their 6-month time frame to become certified in their niche. So I'm super excited to be here tonight. And I'm excited that we've been doing this for 3 weeks. We are wrapping up the coaches conversations for the Coach My Life weekend. It's Thursday, which means we have an extended.
See that?
I don't even know who that is. Go to Facebook and see who just said that because I know it's somebody who loves you.
It is, That was great.
Who just said that because okay, wait. I know it's somebody who loves you. I know it's somebody who loves you because it got to be like somebody who just want to encourage you a little bit. Come on, vocals.
We all need a little encouragement,
I can't even see where this came from. Terrible. I can't see. I'm gonna find out who said "come on, vocals," but I'm glad that we're wrapping up. This is Thursday, so this means our conversation actually is extended on Thursdays, and we go into Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse or you're not on Clubhouse, you need to get on Clubhouse before we get to the end of this thing, so that you can come over and join us in Clubhouse for the continued conversation today.
Absolutely. This is going to be great. So let's go ahead and recap really quickly before we bring Miss Brittany to the stage. We've had such a great month, and this really what makes me excited about the Coach My Life. What is this? Like the Coach My Life series. There it is. Because if you notice, last year we did a live series with some of the authors who were a part of the Coach My Life anthology. This year, we are talking to speakers who are a part of the Coach My Life weekend. I'm excited about 2022 because next year, we're going to not only have the anthology, but we're going to have the weekend. So it's going to be jam-packed. And one of the things that I love about the Coach My Life series is that it gives the opportunity for our audience, for those who are connected to us by way of social media, it gives you the opportunity to really get a deeper understanding of who our coaches are in the Chase Great community and how they can show up and serve you. So not only did we rock off or start I think I started the series, the live series, talking about the broken mindset and how I want to help you position yourself so that you can win after broke. Whether or not the mindset is broken, whether or not your pockets feel a little broken, whether or not your relationships are broken, I want to help you win after broke. Then we jumped into who was in week number 2. I mean,
The second person,
Thursday.
a
Yeah.
dad coach.
Oh, right.
Demetrius early.
A dad coach was there, right? Just talking about abandonment, talking about how, the absence or the void of a missing parent, how that makes a person feel, how it shows up in their life, how it causes chaos in their life. Listen, I think that was a really good one. And then we went to who was next?
Coach Sandra.
She
Coach
was.
Sandra. We talked to Coach Sandra about forgiveness, or not necessarily forgiveness, but winning after betrayal and what
Yes,
that looks
yes.
like. And being able to actually pinpoint and give the ownership of that betrayal to who it actually belongs to. And I think that was so critical. And I have to talk about that because I've talked about that today. Placing the ownership on the proper person can actually help you to actually move past it. So that conversation on betrayal was absolutely amazing. But what else do we expect from Coach Sandra but excellence every time she shows up?
Every time you want to know more about forgiveness and what forgiveness does to your life and how to move from that space of unforgiveness to forgiveness, you want to talk to Coach Sandra. And I think Thursday we was able to talk to
Coach Elise,
talking
our
about
dream
the winning
coach,
after diagnosis.
winning after diagnosis. I just found out that was who had said come on vocals. I just, I
See,
had to go do
the
my due
love.
diligence.
She's sitting over there researching it, just the shade. That's so
No, but I
dope.
said I was going to do that. But I'm so happy to see her tonight. I know she hadn't been feeling well, and so she had kind of took a couple of days. So welcome back. We missed you, Coach Elise. I know that you were back because that was you talking about come on vocals, and I know that you. I know you're probably not feeling the best, so you probably didn't hear that.
Don't ruin it.
It's okay. All right, fine. But she did come through talking about winning after diagnosis and what that looks like. And she talked a lot about having that support system and being able to manage your time properly in diagnosis. And then she also talked about where you place that and what that looks like from, the you before diagnosis and the you after. So that was dope. That was
That was
dope.
good. That was good. And then, of course, Tuesday, when your girl couldn't be here, my
And we
family,
missed you.
my kids told me, can you not double book tonight again? Because we would like to go to swim. So I had to, of course, put family first. I had to take the kids to swim, but it's okay because Tuesday was absolutely amazing. Listen, the way that Latricia brings the energy to the room, it doesn't matter where you are.
Listen, that's why she told y'all she thought that she was going to be able to, do this thing easily when God called her to this area. And I thought I was going to be, a speaker's coach. I was going to be able to help speakers or, show up differently. And God said, no, you're good at that, but that's not what I have you for. So, of course, that conversation is one that I literally had to go listen to again. Like I listened to it 3 times because it was so good. And there were so many nuggets and so many jewels. And that was winning after bereavement and understanding what that looks like. And the most amazing thing about that conversation is that she showed up during bereavement to talk
Yeah,
about what happened
yeah, that
after
was
bereavement.
powerful.
So during her process of bereavement, here she is telling you how to win after. And it was like, wow. Wow. So for her to have that level of energy and for her to have all of that information and to show up, and you didn't get to see her carry what she was going through. It was just dynamic. So if you've missed any of those, they are available on replay. You want to catch up on those, which really brings us to tonight.
It brings us to tonight. So listen, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have our concierge introduce Brittany. Before she does that, introduce our amazing marketing coach to the stage. I want you to do me a favor. If you are in the audience, I want you to do me a favor and I want you to tag someone. Tag someone you feel could benefit from the discussion tonight. We're going to talk about rejection. And so I don't know about you, but rejection has shown up in my business. It has shown up in my life. And so I can't wait to to dig into this conversation on tonight to really try to unpack some stuff, right? Unpack really what's keeping you from hitting that next level. So do me a favor, tag someone you feel can benefit from the conversation on tonight. And even if you don't know anyone who could benefit, share this broadcast, get into the comments. Let us know if you can relate to the things that we're going to share. We want to make sure that this conversation tonight is interactive. While we're going to continue over on Clubhouse, I'll be sure to drop that link. So if y'all see me looking down, it's because I'm setting up the Clubhouse. But I'm excited about that because that's when we really dig deep. I don't know if you've joined us on any Clubhouses for Coach My Life, but those conversations get real. So let's go ahead and introduce our marketing coach.
So I would like to introduce to some and present to others Miss Brittany Collins.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hey, hey, hey. So,
Hey.
Brittany Collins is a woman of the Most High. She is a wife, a mother, an intercessor, a teacher, a children's ministry director, a writer, a best-selling author, a marketing coach, and a program manager for a reading and literacy-based nonprofit educational organization. And that is a lot. She wears a lot of hats. That's a lot. I'm tired just reading that. She has been married to David Collins for 14 years, and she is the mother of two. And she serves as the co-director alongside her husband of Keeping the Flame Alive, a marriage ministry at Hope Evangelical Ministries under the spiritual leadership of Dr. Frankie H. Young, apostle and founder. She has earned her associate's degree in business, her bachelor's degree in business administration with a marketing concentration. She has earned a master's degree in management with leadership concentration, and she is currently pursuing a doctoral degree in education. The girl knows her stuff. She has over 10 years of experience in retail, customer service, sales, management, marketing, and entrepreneurship. And she is here today to talk to us about winning after rejection. Please, please, please give me some hearts, some love, some likes for Brittany Collins, our marketing coach.
Did y'all hear all them accolades? I mean, I just had to take a moment and pause and just, first of all, congratulate you, but all of that good stuff. And I didn't know that you and your husband served on the marriage ministry. We're going to have a conversation. That's for later, but that's what's up.
Well, Brittany, welcome. Can you introduce yourself? I know I just said a lot about who you are, and I'm sure that there are some things that you want to just highlight about yourself because I didn't know all of those things about you. That is absolutely amazing. So please introduce yourself and tell us about your affiliation with Chase Gray University.
Hello again. I am Brittany Collins, marketing coach, helping startup service-based entrepreneurs retain and increase profits through identifying their perfect client and power message. And I'm a part of the Chase Gray family. So happy to be here. And Jasmin pretty much went through everything. So
I said it all.
Extra.
Listen, because I was going to tell you, if you had added anything, I was going to say, you tired? Because that's a lot.
Yes.
Yes. That's a lot. But no, we are super excited. She is, and I like to take ownership because I'm a part of Chase Gray. She is our marketing coach. And so that makes her your marketing coach because we like to share our coaches. But she is phenomenal at what she does. So, Brittany, talk to us about your workshop, Winning After Rejection. Because somebody's going to say, well, hey, she's a marketing coach. So how is she going to talk to us about rejection? So talk to us about your workshop during the weekend.
Okay, so what the women can expect from my workshop, Winning After Rejection, is being able to identify the root causes of what in rejection that's causing them to be stagnant in their personal life and their professional life. It's going to expose some things. It's going to cause the women to face whatever it is that they've been dealing with all these years and own up to it and realize, okay, I do have an issue. I do have an issue that I need to deal with. This issue has been keeping me from moving in my divine purpose. This issue has been causing me to be fearful. This issue of the negative effects of rejection has been causing me to be doubtful and lack confidence and just not move forward in where God, the Most High, is calling me to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. It was one of the things you said. You talked about exposing some things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when we look at the words like rejection, betrayal, bereavement, abandonment, and diagnosis, and the broken mindset, um, we 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 talk about symptoms a lot of times, or behaviors a lot of times that we may be exhibiting that could be showing that we have these areas. So I think like that exposure is important. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I try to get people to understand is to be able to see themselves and understand where these things are coming from, right?
Right.
So I've asked some of the other panelists, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. What are some of those behaviors or things that they may not recognize in themselves that could be showing because of a deep rooted rejection that could be somewhere just deep down inside?
Some behaviors, like I mentioned, not moving forward, having this negative mindset that you don't have value or you don't have worth, because you're hearing these voices in your head that's telling you, no, 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 you can't do this, you can't do that. And then you're rehearsing them. And because you have these negative thoughts in your mind, you start to speak them. If you don't deal with it in your mind first, cast it down, you start to speak these negative unspoken words. And then if you don't deal with it, you start to act on it. And it's going to affect everything that you do. Because why? These negative effects of rejection are it's causing a barrier between you and your purpose. You can't move forward than where you are.
Absolutely. I think that was good because you talked about rehearsing them. And we don't sometimes realize that we're rehearsing or repeating those behaviors or even those thoughts of how we were feeling. I think I was watching something um, the other day, and it was Sarai, Brandy's daughter, and she was talking about how what she was feeling, her mother had never said to her, but how she was feeling, her mother felt. Like I was thinking that my mom was embarrassed by me because I was this way, and I was thinking that my mom was disappointed in me. And she said my mother never exhibited any of those type of behaviors, but I felt that way, and I felt that that was what she was feeling. So she was feeling rejected because of how she was internally feeling, even though no one gave her that feeling. So it's like rehearsing what's in our head. It becomes reality to us if we don't have someone telling us, hey, wait a minute, that's not it. I've never felt that way about you. I've never seen you that way. Or some of those could be that we had that moment of rejection that actually did happen to us. And so we repeat that in every situation, in every relationship. And I'm going to do it first before you even get a chance to do it.
Right.
Like I'll do it first. Oh, go ahead, Toya.
No, I was going to say the same thing, how you use it as a defense mechanism, right? So when someone responds to you a certain way, and this is when Brittany was talking about getting to the root of it. I don't even know if we notice that some of our behaviors are triggered from being rejected, right? So it goes all the way to the womb. Even to this point where a dad coach had put a post up, or he was in an interview or something, but he was talking about how the dads put your name on your child's birth certificate. And so when he was talking about it, he was saying, even in that moment, you're rejecting your children and you don't even know it. Like the small seeds that we plant that are planted in our lives from womb, whether or not the mom struggled with having the child, whether or not the father was like, what you about to do with this? Whatever the case may be, we go through these things from the womb, and we don't realize that some of our behaviors trigger some of those moments from birth, and it causes us to create this wall. So now we've created these defense mechanisms, and now we've created this wall thinking that you're protecting yourself when you're really causing a huge division in your life.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, was you gonna say something, Brittany?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no. I was gonna say I 100%, and it's funny, that was good. I never thought about that. Like even not signing the birth certificate, how it's the first. It could be the first sign of rejection for that baby, or feeling that from the womb because the mother and the father is going through so much, and so that baby is feeling that that sense of rejection already. So coming into the world feeling rejected, and it's wow, that was from beginning, from birth. That's deep. You're gonna add to that, Brittany?
Yeah, I do want to add to that. just from my experience with my mother and her telling me numerous times how I was an accident. Because, you know, it was internal first. There's something she was thinking about. This was something that was in her heart. And then she spoke it out to me, you know, you were an accident, you weren't playing, you were a oops baby. So yes, I definitely, that seed was already planted because she already had it in her heart that I wasn't wanted. And that it just passes down. And then she starts to speak it, you know, you steady planting that seed, and it's going to take root and it's going to produce after its own kind.
That's so crazy. I just want to help our audience connect the dots really quickly. I know again some of you may be asking, you know, how is our marketing coach speaking on rejection? I want to connect the dots for my entrepreneurs and for my corporate professionals. When you are positioning yourself to go for a job, for a promotion, for, you know, taking your business to the next level, or if you're positioning yourself to grow yourself in business, there's a marketing stage that you have to go through. Of course, with business owners, we're consistently marketing, right? We're constantly putting ourselves in the forefront, asking to exchange profit for the sale. But even as a corporate professional, when you're looking to go after the promotion, when you're looking to grow in the business, what are you doing? You're marketing yourself. So you're showing up a certain kind of way. You're coming to the team meetings a certain kind of way. You're being assertive. You're answering questions, all type of stuff that we do in the corporate space so that we can be recognized, right? So that we can be acknowledged. And so know that this isn't just for the entrepreneur. When you think of marketing your business, this is for the woman who's talking about marketing herself. Because if you're not confident enough to stand boldly before your corporate boss or before your ideal client and say, listen, I have what you need, I can solve this problem, then guess what? You're going to struggle. And it's even worse as the entrepreneur because, you know, in the business, you kind of have that business to lean on to be your support. So if you want to hide behind the desk all day, you can. But as the entrepreneur, listen, the game is changed. And I didn't know that I struggled with rejection until it was time for me to really position myself in marketing and sales. So listen, I don't know about you, but this makes so much sense to me.
Listen, I got to add to that because when we talk about some of those behaviors that you could be exhibiting, one of those could be hiding behind other people with your work, right? So you may want to, you know, and I have to say this because I was guilty of this all the time. And I have to give credit to having an amazing leader who was like, no, you need to go speak up. And I would work behind the scenes. So if you're always behind the scenes, you don't ever really want the credit. You don't want anybody to know it was you who did it because you're afraid that they may not receive it the same way coming from you as they would somebody else. That's a very big sign that you are suffering from rejection, that you have some deep rooted rejection because you don't want to be in the front because they may not hear it from me because somewhere somebody didn't accept it from you. And so you felt like, well, now I'll just do it back here and then you can get the credit or you go say it for me. And she would say, no, Jazz, you got to go speak. And I say, well, no, they're not going to hear from me. And especially in business, because some of us are struggling because we feel like, well, I don't have the degree, right? I don't have the certification. I don't have the accreditation. So they're not going to accept it from me because I don't have this piece of paper that validates me. I don't have validation. I don't have what I feel like I need to feel validated. And the reality is you are validated in your business because it's yours and because God called you to it. You are validated in your job, in your workplace because it's the position that you're in. Like when God validates you, you are validated, but we're struggling with that because we're dealing with rejection. The root cause of that is rejection somewhere. So now you feel like I'm not good enough. I can't show up. And so it's showing up in your words and it's showing up in your behaviors. And so if you're experiencing those things, then I want you to understand that that's a behavior or a symptom of the rejection that you've experienced.
Yes. Yes. And I can relate to that because years ago, maybe a little less than 10 years ago, I had businesses on and on, off and on. And they just didn't thrive. They didn't survive. And I only marketed my businesses to, you know, family and friends, people that I was close to and familiar with. and I wouldn't push past my comfort zone. I wouldn't branch out of my circle. And you know how everybody's excited for what you're doing in the beginning, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I want that. Okay, I'll support you. And they were, but then it started to dry up. I was dependent on these families, the family and the friends and the close associates to keep my businesses afloat. But I didn't market myself past them. And at that point, I know it was a fear, but I didn't know exactly what it was stemming from. I just knew that I felt like a hesitation, like I was pulling myself back from moving forward. Like something was pulling me back from moving forward. But at that time, I couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was. And it took my businesses drying up numerous times for me to say, okay, God, what's really going on? What's really going on? And, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that you haven't dealt with the root of rejection from your childhood. And I was like, what? How does that connect with my business? You know what I'm saying? But it had a lot to do with why I wouldn't move forward, because I was afraid of being told no. I was afraid of the strangers that I didn't know. The unknown. Okay, I don't know these people. They're not going to accept me. They're going to reject me. I don't know them. They don't know anything about me. And so, again, that rejection that you have to deal with, those effects of rejection, childhood rejection, rejection in my teenage years, even rejection in my younger adult years that I had to deal with and uproot, because it was hindering me from moving forward.
And so I want to make sure. And so I think tonight my goal is to make sure that I can clearly help people see what you're saying and apply it to themselves. So I know sometimes we see those posts that say, if I start doing this, are y'all going to support me? Right. And it's what you were talking about. Like, we want to get the validation from, or the, yeah, girl, I got you, from the people closest to us. If I open up this business, y'all got me. And then if I see 20 comments, I'm going to start selling dinners. Like, if I see this, then I'll do this, because I feel like I have the security there versus knowing that if I just go out there and jump and just launch and hope that you support me. And one thing I need people to understand is that the world is bigger than your circle. It's bigger than the people who are just around you. It's bigger than you can have 5,000 friends on Facebook and be tapped out, but the world is bigger than those 5,000. And you probably need to delete 2,500 of them and open it up. But that's neither here nor there. But what I heard you say was, I was doing that. I was making sure that the support came from my immediate circle. And then when they stopped supporting, it dried up because I didn't have the confidence to move past my immediate circle. I see my co-host come off. I've been ready.
So can I just say that this is one of the reasons why we started Chase Great, right? Is because of the validation piece. It was like, I have a business idea. I know that God has called me to this, but I don't think other people will understand what I'm doing, right? And so when I first launched as a vision coach, nobody knew what that was. I was still trying to figure out what it was, but I knew this is what God had called me to become. And so the more that I was looking for someone to partner with me and say, listen, this is a great idea, let's make this happen, I struggle, right? And so this is where the idea of Chase Great University came from this very space. And I tell the coaches all the time, listen, I'm your two. The Bible says, where two shall come together, asking anything in my Father's name, then it shall be done. And so that validation piece is saying, listen, Brittany, I'm your two. Listen, Jazz, I'm your two. Listen, Elise, I'm your two. And it stemmed from me being afraid to launch because people aren't gonna, support me. And I'll say this, and we can move forward. I then began to learn that my business, I'm not looking for support. I'm looking for those who are looking for a solution. When I switch my mind to that, I stopped being mad when family members didn't show up, when family members weren't buying books, when family members weren't buying tickets. I stopped getting upset about that because I have a solution. And maybe the solution I have isn't to your problem. So, and this is for those who know who's listening. Stop starting your businesses or looking for support. Be a solution. It changes how you approach in business.
So let me breathe, because I don't want, like, I know we're gonna move past this and move forward, but I have to stop right there because I talk about that. This isn't okay. Nope. So let me just add to that, because that's important to me, right? Understanding that it's beyond this small group of people that you're with. And I have to go to where the scripture says, give and I will give it back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. And what that it didn't say, hey, I'm going to call up the family to support you, give into your bosom, your friends to give into your bosom. It says, shall men give into your bosom, which means if you are obedient to what I say, if you go and move and do, and sometimes that give is not you giving your money and I'm going to give you money back. That give is, if you give me your time, your talent, and your treasure, then I'll give you time, talent, and treasure back. But I'm going to raise up a man or woman. That man was mankind. But shall men give unto your bosom, not your immediate family. He didn't say shall your family give to you, so shall your friends sow back into you. No, there's somebody else 4 cities over on the other side of the world that doesn't even know you, but know that they have a seed for you, because God is putting it on them to give it to you. Shall men give into your bosom? So a lot of times we get caught up in thinking that if my friends support me, if everybody I know bought a t-shirt, if everybody I know bought a book, I'd be a best-selling author. Well, guess what would happen if everybody you didn't know bought a book? What type of author would you be if the 5,000 people I know versus the 2.8 billion people I don't know bought a book? How much better would you be if it didn't come from the who you know? I'm done. I'm gonna move forward. I'm done.
Listen,
That's
I'm so
good.
glad we getting ready to go on Clubhouse after this, because we can talk about this all night long. But okay, for real, we already halfway in, and I don't even think we got all of our questions through.
We didn't get our questions. So Brittany, back to you.
Yes.
I think these calls. Let me say this: if you are enjoying this conversation, you got to understand something about Chase Gray. Chase Gray is a full, transparent, full, authentic type of company and organization where we understand that the only way for you to get what you need is if we're authentic and if we're real and if we are able to express and share our concerns and our fears and our traumas and our experiences, and we can open our wounds and show you our wounds, because the only way that you know that it's possible for you to get through those things is if you know somebody who's been through those things. And so for Chase Gray, this conversation is nothing new. Our Monday calls are very long for this very reason, because we have to be able to do this. We have to be able to have real conversations. So if you like this conversation or you are interested in coming to the conference and you're like, listen, I need this class, Coach Brittany, because I didn't know that my behaviors were based on rejection, then you want to be at the weekend, December 5th? Nope, December 3rd through the 5th. That's when it is, the 3rd through the 5th. Coach My Life Weekend, December 3rd through the 5th, where Coach Brittany will be working with you guys through what it looks like to win after abandonment. And since we're here, I am going to ask you, who is your workshop for?
My workshop is for the woman who is terrified of being told no. My workshop is for the woman who is afraid to connect and network with the people that God is wanting to connect them with. Their breakthrough, their healing, their financial windfall can be through those connections. Those divine connections can be a conduit to their deliverance, their financial breakthrough. But if they don't connect with these people that God is trying to connect them with, it won't happen. It won't happen. And it's for the woman who lacks confidence in her personal life, in her professional life, the woman who won't move forward because of those unresolved negative effects of rejection.
You heard it from Coach Brittany. If you are that woman, if you've ever not wanted to speak because you didn't like the way your voice sound, or you have a stutter, or you didn't want to show up because you didn't have that certificate, or you were in the room and had the ability to network, but because nobody looked like you were like, no, I'm gonna have a seat. I'm going on over here in this corner. So if you're that woman, then you want to be at this conference. Listen, I'm going to ask you this: if you could give one tip now. I've worked with Coach Brittany. I know how amazing her programming is. I know how dope she is. And I know that she got some jewels and some nuggets, but I need you to be able to give them one tip in your area of expertise, be it your marketing and or overcoming the rejection. What would that be?
Well, one tip that I do want to give is knowing that a no is not permanent. A no does not cancel you out. Sally Sue over here, no does not stop what God is doing in your life. That's Sally Sue's no. That's not everybody else. So you can't hold on to the no's because that's going to keep you from getting to the yeses. Because you got to remember, everybody is not called, or you're not called to everybody. You're not called to serve everybody. So that's when you have to tap into who it is you've been called to, so that you know how to market yourself to those people. Divine connections, like I mentioned before. I said divine connections. God wants to connect you with people, and they can be a conduit to your deliverance. They can be a conduit to your breakthrough. They can be a conduit to your healing. They can be a conduit for that breaking poverty off of your life. You don't know, but if you don't move forward because of that the negative effects of rejection that you are allowing to control your life, you are allowing to control your life. You'll never break through. You'll never move forward. You'll always be stagnant, and it's because of a decision that you are making. Nobody is making it for you. You have to move. You have to move, because once it has been exposed, okay, you have it. You know what you're dealing with. Now you got to face it. You got to own up to it. Okay, it's been exposed. This deep rooted rejection in my childhood from what daddy did, what mama did, or whoever did. Okay, I know what's going on now. Now I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna own up to it. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I have an issue, and now it's time to uproot it. It's time to uproot it. It's time to deal with it. It's time to be honest with yourself so that you can move forward. Because if you don't, you're just gonna stay where you are. You're just gonna stay where you are, and you're not gonna be able to help the people that need you because you won't move out.
I like how you said that a no is not permanent and a no does not cancel you out. One no cannot be what stops you from moving forward, because even though you may get one no, there's probably 50 yeses on the other side of the no. If you keep pushing, if you keep persevering, and if you say, okay, it wasn't right for you, you weren't the right person for this, but there is somebody I'm called to, because I know that God wouldn't have given me this witty idea, this book. He would not have given me this if I was going to get to you and it was going to be a no. You are not the decision maker. So a no is not permanent. I really like that.
I used to say that a no created a new opportunity to chase great. So every time I was told no, and your girl been told no a whole bunch of times, when I was told no, it just created a new opportunity. While it didn't feel good. It wasn't comfortable. Listen, I've cried. I've wanted to give up, all of those things. But in that no, it created a new opportunity for me to chase great. So what did I need to do? Right. And if I could share this, and I've been on this kick for a while, especially since we've been in the Coach My Life series, talking about if you don't heal, it won't work. Right. Period. And that's whether or not you are looking to grow your professional life, whether or not you're looking to get married, whether or not you're looking to have children, you're looking to grow your business. If you don't heal, it won't work. a lot of times, you know, marriages go stale or go left because somebody there isn't healing through the challenges, right? Or maybe you've had two broken people or two people who needed healing try to come together, and but they're not willing to heal together, right? And so these are the type of things that we have to be mature about. These are the things that, like Brittany just said, you have to be real with yourself. Like, when do you come into the realization that it's not everybody else's fault? You know, like, when do you wake up and say, man, 5 people said this about me? When do you start saying, I need to fix me, instead of saying, but they don't understand and they don't care or they're haters or whatever people tell themselves? When do we wake up and say, I need to heal in this area because this triggers me and this causes me to have an attitude or response to people in a way that I'm not proud of?
Mm-hmm. And you know what's so dope about that is, so I'm going to say this. This is why you have to be mindful of who's around you and who holds you accountable. And this is why I say it's important to have a coach, because you need somebody that's going to be willing to point some of those things out for you.
Yeah.
If you, because some of us have, you know we this way, but we've accepted it. You know, that's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
Or the people around us have begun to excuse our behavior by saying, that's just how she is. Oh, she always does, or he always does. And so they've actually validated those behaviors in us and just said, okay, well, it's cool. I know how to deal with her. I know how to deal with her. But why are we doing this with you? We we deal with you with kid gloves. Oh, you don't say this to her because it's going to trigger her. Don't do this to her. So this is why I say it's so important to have somebody around you that's going to be honest with you and tell you the truth, even if it is your coach. Because once you are, somebody's telling you about those behaviors, that's when you have to start saying, let me fix this, let me correct this, let me do better. Because I just told somebody today that we got to start holding the people accountable. They say hurt people, right? But I still have to hold you accountable for the hurt that you inflict. And so you don't lose accountability because you was hurting. You don't lose accountability because it was a trauma from you. Because now what you're doing is that you're pushing that off on somebody else. So we got to start holding each other accountable. And then when someone holds you accountable, you have to be willing to have some ownership of what they're saying to you. You know what? I do this. Let me figure out why I'm doing this, because it's not okay that I'm doing these things. And it's not okay that you guys are all comfortable with or have grown accustomed to me being this way. So I think that's very, very critical, that ownership, that accountability, recognizing your triggers, understanding what they are. That's critical, because it's showing up in your life and you don't even know it. Let me not say that, because I was about to say you don't know it's showing up. Some of us know it's showing up. Some of us know what we're doing. And some of us, we didn't know where it was coming from. But some of us are aware. And so the question from me to you would be, aren't you tired? Don't you want something different? Don't you want something different? And so this conversation is going completely, this conversation is so different for me, because these are things that I've literally been pointing out to people. But I got to thank Coach Brittany for this, because a lot of these things are things I would not have recognized to be able to see in other people as rejection, or to see in myself as, that's because you still stuck on rejection. You still dealing with this rejection. And so I thank both Coach Brittany and Coach Latoya, because I tell people all the time. One day she told me and if you know Coach Latoya, you've ever had a session with her, she's very real with you. And she said, like, her face changed, like, who told you that? And I'm like, what had happened? Like, who told you? Like, and she said, I need you to go back and think about where you were as a kid, where somebody said this to you or did this to you, because this is coming from that. And so we need people like a Coach Latoya, our vision coach, and we need Brittany, a coach, a marketing coach who deals with rejection, to be able to help you pinpoint where that is coming from in you, and to come on the other side of that, because on the other side of that is you winning in your marketing your business, your brand, or yourself.
That's it. And I'm glad that, when Brittany and I talked about what she was going to talk about for Coach My Life, I'm like, okay, Brittany, this is going to be a little different because we're not talking business. But if you going through the Chase Great program, the first thing you have to deal with is self. You cannot help nobody else if you are not willing to first. I look at the man in the mirror. Let me look at me and see where I need to be better so that I can show up and be better for the next person. And so as we start talking and developing, and she's positioning herself as that marketing coach, we talk about the problem that you're called to solve. While we may think that business building is all external, right? You got to have your website, you got to have your sales pages and your pitch and all of this, your graphics, all of this good stuff. But if a person is broken on the inside, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how well your presentation is. If you're broken, you cannot go out to try to help heal anyone else, right? You can't pull together those pieces. And I listen, I despise the fake it till you make it, the faith it till you make it, because what you're doing is you are positioning yourself to be something that you are not. And that's not the same thing as encouraging yourself. Our words of confirmation where we're declaring being millionaires and we're declaring, debt free and all of that good stuff. That's not the same thing as saying I'm healed, but I'm really not. I'm ready to, I can help you with your marriage and you struggling. Like that's not the same thing. And so, having this conversation with Brittany and talking about marketing in general, because again, with Chase Great, this is a place that I struggled and I didn't know, like Jazz just said, you don't know what the root of it is. You know that there's a problem, but you don't know what the root of it is. So this weekend is designed to help you get to the root, because the only way to stop a weed from growing again, have you ever, and listen, y'all, we just bought a house. So this whole landscaping stuff is not what your girl like to do. But what I did learn is that when I go out there and I had to dig the weeds between the sidewalks, the cracks of the sidewalk, I couldn't just pull it because it kept coming back. So I had to pull it from the root. Then I had to put additional care on it so that it did not grow back. If you're not willing to pull the issue from the root, you're going to consistently see it show up in other areas of your life.
And you can pull it from the root, but like you just said, you got to add some additional care. And some of that additional care is you being at the weekend. You being
Right.
being at the weekend, December 3rd through the 5th. And I'm going to just tell you, I have a 50% off code for you if you would like to attend. I have it, inbox me. I have it. Coach Brittany has it. Our other panelists and facilitators, with the exception of Latoya, we all have it. She has enough on her plate, so we won't give it to her. She don't know what it is. I got it. But if you want it, inbox me. I have that for you because this is what the weekend is about. The weekend is about being able to pull some things up from the root and putting the extra care on top of it so that it doesn't come back. And then we're able to kind of have a better move forward on the other side of that rejection or that betrayal or that abandonment or that broken mindset or that diagnosis. And when we say the diagnosis, that could be your diagnosis or somebody else's diagnosis that you are having to deal with. So we want to be able to help you in those particular areas: rejection, betrayal, bereavement, abandonment, diagnosis, or the broke or broken mindset.
Can I just say, and I want everyone to know this, while, I'm still working on saying, how Chase Great, yes, I'm the visionary, I'm the founder, all of that good stuff. But when I tell you I'm coming to this conference as a student as well, Jazz said something Tuesday that just, I threw my hands up. Well, I couldn't because I was driving, but in my head, I threw my hands up. And she was talking about the whole diagnosis and how, a lot of times we think, well, I'm in my body, I'm well. But what about, she was connecting the diagnosis and the forgiveness and the bereavement, right? I was mad at my dad for a minute because my dad passed in 2019. And there were so many things he could have done to prevent it, his passing, but he wouldn't, right? He didn't want to. And so I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you because of your diagnosis and the things that you could have done to prevent it, the bereavement. And so now I need Latrice, so that I can understand the bereavement process. Now I need Elise so that I can understand where he was and his mindset and how he was tired of fighting certain things. And then I need Coach Sandra, who's going to help me forgive. Listen, the way that the lineup is set up is like something that it's only God, because we didn't do this on purpose. Okay. We didn't set this up the way that it's set up. It was set up because God said, I have something for you. And I want not only you to heal, because LaToya is still healing in a lot of areas, but I want the coaches who are establishing themselves as the expert in this area to help walk you through that process. It's just, it makes so much sense.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Listen, that was good. I've been like super emotional, y'all. So I'm gonna tell you, I've been like super emotional because going through so much, and then that self-discovery stage, right? We're always discovering ourselves. We're always discovering something about who we are and the whys of how we respond, how we react, where those things came from. So sometimes you can be in the middle of everything else, and what you can see is everybody else but yourself. But then when he shows you, it's like, wow, that's me. I didn't know I was still dealing in this area. I didn't know I was still holding on to that. I didn't know that I was feeling like, he abandoned me, or she abandoned me, or she left me when she could have just fought. I didn't know I was dealing with that. So yeah, that was heavy. And that's why you want to be there, because it's intentionally designed by God. Like we're just going to orchestrate, we're just going to orchestrate what he said to do. But he designed this for a reason. And so if you're watching this and you're feeling this, like, I have to be there. You have to be there, because this is a glimpse into the conversations of not just what Brittany's going to be talking about, but those bonfire conversations where we get to kind of deep dive into this part of it, where we get to talk to you for real about what you're experiencing, or you get to really share, and we get to pour into you and you get to pour into us. That's where we need. That's where that community and that accountability comes into play. Because somebody's feeling like, I'm going through this by myself. Nobody else understands. We understand. Our coaches understand. Somebody in the Zoom room understands. But if we aren't willing to come together and talk about those things and share our experiences, then you'll continue to be held back. You'll continue to be feeling like it's okay to just be in the background and not shine. You'll continue to just feel like you're by yourself, even though you're not. So I really, really, really enjoyed this conversation. Coach Brittany, I apologize because me and Toya be talking.
That's all right.
So I'm going to give you the last 5 minutes, and you talk to the audience and you tell them any last words, anything that you want them to hear from you before we close out.
Yes, I do have a question that I want the audience to ponder on. Well, it's twofold. It's something you have to do, and it's a question you have to ask yourself. I want you to look yourself in the mirror, like really look yourself in the mirror and say, what was God thinking when he formed me in my mother's womb? What was God thinking when he formed me in my mother's womb? Don't be so quick to answer. Really think about that. Really think about that, because it's going to be revealed to you what it is that God has thought about you, and then what it is you think about yourself. Okay. And so we want you to come out to the Coach My Life weekend, ending that weak mindset, ending those weak areas in your life, breaking and destroying those weak areas in your life. Come out to the Coach My Life weekend, December 3rd through the 5th, 2021. Healings will be taking place, deliverances, breakthroughs. You do not want to miss out. This is only the tip of the iceberg. We are going to go even deeper, and you do not want to miss out.
What was God thinking when he formed me in my mother's womb? Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. So what were you thinking? What did you know about me? What did you say about me? What words were you using to describe me? Did you know that I would be doing this? Is this what you expected of me? Am I fulfilling the assignment? I think the big thing is understood the assignment. He understood the assignment. Lord, did I understand the assignment? Am I doing this the way you intended for me to be doing this? Am I connecting with the people I'm supposed to be connecting with? What were you thinking? Because before you formed me, you knew me. So that is the question. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to leave you with the assignment of looking yourself in the mirror and asking, what was God thinking when he formed me in my mother's womb? I will tell you that we're probably going to talk about that a little bit in Clubhouse. Because we're headed to Clubhouse, so we are going to end our Facebook and head on over to Clubhouse. I know a little bit of Clubhouse is going to be talking about a little bit of betrayal. We'll probably pick up a little bit of this conversation and then migrate over into betrayal. Because you got me over here like, where's my mirror that I usually keep on my desk so I can see my face? Where's my mirror so I can ask those questions? What were you thinking? What words were you describing me as, God? What did you tell me I was a survivor? Did you call me healer? Did you call me like I'm about to go ask myself? I may be a little late to Clubhouse. But if you want to join us in Clubhouse, we're headed over to Clubhouse. We really appreciate you guys watching. If you are watching us live, thank you for being here. Join us over in Clubhouse. If you are watching us on replay, I believe the Clubhouse will be recorded. You can simply follow Chase Great, our club, our house. You can follow our house, Chase Great, over in Clubhouse.
Our room.
Our room. Okay. It's so many different things. You DM me.
It is. Okay. Listen.
Follow us. We're on Clubhouse. Our house is called Chase Great. It's a little greenhouse. Come follow us over there. Come home with us.
And we'll see y'all at Clubhouse.
We'll see y'all in Clubhouse. Coach My Life Weekend, December 3rd through the 5th. Registration is open now. See you guys in Clubhouse.
Bye.